Hi guys, in this episode of Pt.2, I am really excited to be reacting to August D, aka Suga from BTS's new comeback song People Part 2, featuring IU, who I'm also a big fan of. I gotta say though, BTS sure seems to love their parts 2 to a song, because this is not the first time and not gonna be the last time that they've had a part 2 to a song. And it's honestly shockingly common for them to have a part 2. I kind of dig that because it kind of adds a certain level of continuity to their music that you don't really see usually. Like, groups or artists might sometimes have songs that are kind of like spiritual sequels of previous songs, but in the case of BTS, frequently they have straight up sequels, named so even. And like, even recently with Jimin's debut, his pre-release track, which is what this is as well, also was a part 2. It was called Set Me Free Part 2. And if I remember correctly, Set Me Free Part 1 was actually a song on Suga's previous album that he did back in like 2020, I think it was. So that's kind of interesting. Before we get into what I expect for this, I want to talk a little bit about the last song that Suga participated in, which was not a song by him. It was a song by Psy, I think that's how we pronounce his name, called Dat. And I actually didn't react to it for many reasons that you will know if you've seen any other reaction of mine in which I, in some way, shape or form, talk about BTS. Usually it's stuff by hype groups that I mentioned BTS in. But I've just, like I've mentioned before, not necessarily been the biggest fan of BTS in the last couple of years. I've been severely disappointed, bordering on mad about the kind of music that they've been releasing. It's a long story, I don't really want to get into it. So I kind of toned down on my reactions to BTS. And BTS related stuff because I didn't want to just spread unnecessary negativity. And even though I made kind of an exception for Suga when he released Pt.2, because he is my bias in BTS and I like his style and I like his music and everything, I kind of was in a bad mood when Dat was released. So I kind of chose not to react to it because of that, because I didn't want to hate it. And I also didn't really know how much of a participation there was going to be by Suga and how good the song was going to be with or without his inclusion, because there's no point for me to check out an artist that I don't like just because of a feature by an artist that I like, you know? But I've honestly ended up loving that song. It's really good, it's really catchy, and I love how much he actually participates in the song, because like even outside of his verse, which is one of the best verses by him, he continues to participate in the rest of the song and even dances for like the rest of the song. So that's pretty cool and I really enjoy that. I wish he ended up participating more in that song, but I'm still a big fan of it. And it's definitely going to be on my top list for the best songs of the year. So whenever I get to making that video, you can expect that song somewhere over there, despite the fact that I didn't react to it. And at this point, it's too late for me to react to that because I've listened to it so much, but anyway. So yeah, I am actually very excited for this song, although a little bit wary about it, because I'm a big fan of Suga. I like his style, like I said, and I am especially a big fan of Pt.2, and his general like solo style is especially really good. But the participation of IU kind of worries me a little bit. Not because I don't like IU, I actually do enjoy her quite a lot. I think she is an amazing vocalist, probably the best female vocalist, or at least one of the best female vocalists in K-pop. And I've reacted to quite a lot of her songs, so you can check out those reactions if you want. But she tends to do ballads, from my experience. And she has collaborated with Suga before, so it's not out of the blue or anything. It's just that it makes me think that it's gonna be more of a ballad kind of song, which is not necessarily gonna be inherently wrong. is going to mean that I'm not necessarily gonna be in love with this song. And the good thing is that I found out actually literally before sitting down to do the video, this is a pre-release track. I actually thought that this was the actual title track, but no, the actual title track is gonna be released, I think, on like April 21st. The day on which I'm recording this video, it's April 17th, so it's still a couple of days off, but I just couldn't wait, so I decided to record this. But so even if I'm disappointed with this release, we still have the title track proper, which is probably gonna be something that I'm gonna like. But I'm just gonna be really disappointed if Jimin, for some reason, managed to appeal to me with his style far more than Suga did, because that's kind of gonna shift my bias in BTS. Because like I didn't expect Jimin's style and his album to be so good and hit me exactly in the place that I love getting hit in, you know? It's like he managed to appeal to my taste perfectly. And it's gonna be very sad if Suga doesn't manage to do that with his pre-release song, because I did not expect to like Jimin's solo stuff. I just didn't. We didn't really have necessarily too much of an idea of what it could be, but I like it, and I liked Set Me Free the second that I heard it, and then his actual title track was even better. So yeah, I did not see that coming, and I even listened to the album. I've loved the album as a whole as well. So yeah, it's gonna be very disappointing if Suga doesn't manage to hit me like that, but it's gonna be what it's gonna be, you know? So I guess without further ado, let's get into August D, People Part 2 featuring IU in 3, 2, 1.
So tell me if you're not right and go. I know you know anything is no. So tell me if you're not right and go. Nobody doesn't know anymore.
사랑이라는 말 어쩌면 순간의 감정의 날 조건이 붙지 않은 무엇 사랑하는 그 충분히 사랑받지 못한 나이 그래서 무엇보다 신중한 타입 나는 말해
This is some old school BTS vibe that I'm getting from his rapping here, I gotta say.
힘없이 쉽게 무너져 상실은 무엇 때문에 슬픈 걸까 사실은 두려운 게 슬픈 거야 두려운 게 슬픈 거야 So far away you're gone
Is he singing?
Getting far away Too far away
Is that him singing? What the heck?
So tell me if you're not right.
This is a very different vibe for Suga, I gotta say.
당신은 무엇 때문에 슬픈 걸까 사실은 두려움이 큰 거잖아 함께 미래 그리던 우리는 없고 쌓은 모든 성들을 부셔버린 것은 우린 거야 승패가 없는 게임이라지만 난 언제나 게임
Man, just listening to his rapping right here brings me back to like 2016 when I first became a fan. I love that.
So far away you're gone Getting far away Too far away you're gone I know I have to know
So tell me if you're not right and go. I know you know anything is no. So tell me if you're not right and go. Nobody doesn't know anymore.
떠가는 사람 사랑의 끝은 과연 무엇일까 수많은 사람 스쳐간 사람 사랑은 사랑으로 완벽할 것 그래 만약 이타적인 게 어쩌면 되려 이기적이네 널 위해 한다는 말은 곧 내 욕심이기에 욕심을 버리면 행복해지고 채우지 못한 반쪽짜리 허서 삶은 저항과 복종 사이의 싸움이라는데 내가 보기에는 외로움들과의 싸움이네 눈물이 터져 나오면 그대 울어도 돼 당신은 사랑받기에도 이미 충분한데
To this year, not writing go. I know you know anything.
Oh, I know what's gonna be the thumbnail for this one.
To this year, not writing go. Nobody doesn't know anymore. Yeah.
대부분 다 뭐 사람들한테 전달하고 싶은 이야기도 있지만 나 자신
It would have been nice if I was watching with subtitles.
이야기를 많이 들었거든요. 사실이기도 하고요. 그때 당시에 코로나로 여러 가지 것들을 할 수 없을 때 굉장히 모든 것을 잃어버렸다라고 생각을 했을 때 썼던 곡이기 때문에 나 자신한테 되게 해주고 싶었던 이야기였습니다.
Okay, guys, give me a second to go and check on YouTube exactly what he said there because I have no idea whatsoever.
사람들이 대부분 다
People told me that the song tells a story I wanted to share with others, and it also seems I'm talking to myself, which is true. This song was written when I couldn't do anything due to COVID-19. When I thought I lost everything. So it conveys the message I wanted to tell myself. Well, I don't really watch with subtitles, so I don't really know what the message of the song really was. And to be honest, I kind of don't really care, and I feel like it doesn't really matter. If a song can't really convey the message through the vibe, the music video, and the sound, the general sound of the song, is it really a good song? Like, when it comes to K-pop, I feel like that's a standard that I at least have set for it. Usually, that's kind of the way I gauge a song, and I fall in love with certain kind of songs based on that alone. If I like the title and I get and enjoy the message of the title, it doesn't really matter what the particular lyrics are like. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of dig this song. Like, it's enjoyable. It's somewhat entertaining. Like I said, it reminds me a lot of the kind of vibe that BTS used to have back in, like, I mean, realistically, with their music, like 2014, 2015. That was even before I became a K-pop fan, but it definitely has that old school BTS vibe to it, which I really, really like about it. It seems that Hybe Entertainment or Corporation or whatever you want to call them has kind of removed its tentacles from all of their artists pretty much at this point, because you don't really have that forced autotune on everybody. Like, I already talked about this in my Jimin reactions, that I was surprised by how clear and not autotune his voice was in those. Like, you can actually hear the distinct Jimin voice. And even in the case of, like, Set Me Free, where you did have autotune, for once that was actually a stylistic choice, an excuse that I had seen many times prior about BTS's stupid overuse of autotune. But yeah, I'm getting a little bit sidetracked. My point is, I like the vibe that this song has. It reminds me of old school BTS. But at the same time, it's a ballad, and I kind of don't really care for it because of that. It's just not really my thing. It's not a bad song. For people who are into more chill songs, I think this is gonna be pretty enjoyable. But for me, most of the time, I listen to energetic songs because I want to feel happy. I want to feel energized. And in general, most of the time when I listen to music, it's when I'm traveling somewhere with my car, which especially makes me want to be wanting to be more energized and more happy, because otherwise I would be bored to death. So these kind of songs just don't really fit in my life that much nowadays. They used to fit a little bit more before starting the YouTube channel when I was really struggling with depression and stuff, but nowadays I'm too happy for these kind of songs, you know? And it's chill and I enjoy it, but it's not really gonna be a song that I'm really gonna go out of my way to listen to ever again, realistically. So, yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm not saying it's a bad song, but there's just not really much to it other than that. It's a chill song. Probably the lyrics might have made it more enjoyable to me if I watched it with lyrics, but again, like I said, if you can't really convey a vibe based on the sound alone, I mean, is it really a good song? Because at the end of the day, most of the time, I'm gonna be listening to this song. I'm not gonna be reading the lyrics. I'm not gonna be watching the music video. I'm just gonna be listening to it. So if you don't manage to grab me by that alone, then you have kind of failed. Now, I don't think this song has failed or anything. I think it's good. I like the idea behind it, I guess. I like what Suga said about how he has written it and everything. That's kind of interesting and cool. But at the end of the day, it's just too chill of a ballad for me to really care about. But when I do listen to it, it is good. The verses are really good. So, yeah, I'm definitely far more interested in the proper title track, which I expect it's gonna be more of a traditional, like hard-hitting Suga song. So, hopefully I'm not disappointed in that regard as well, because it would be a wild experience to have Jimin release better music than Suga. That would be kind of impressive, but yeah, I don't know. In terms of a rating for this one, I mean, it's kind of hard to gauge because, like I said, it's enjoyable, but it's not really my thing, so it's kind of a little bit outside of my area of expertise, and I feel like it's not really that much fair for me to rate it, but for what it is, I think it's a solid 9 out of 10, maybe even a 9.2. I think people who enjoy these kind of more slow, chill songs are gonna enjoy it just fine. People might even like the OG BTS vibe that it has. But for me personally, not really that entertaining overall. It's fine. I think it's a quality song. I just don't find it that entertaining. But yeah, and because of that, and because it's such a slow ballad, there's not really much that I can gain from a second listen, so we are gonna skip that, and I'm not gonna do it. But I am gonna be really excited to get into the proper title track of this album, and maybe even the whole album if I manage to enjoy the title track once that releases. So if you're interested to see that, stick around. But yeah, what did you guys think about this song? Comment thoughts down below and let's have a discussion about this. And also, before we end this video, I just want to give a huge shout out to my currently 4 patrons on Patreon: Omar Bijman, Deadpool, Corvidet, and Andrew. Thank you guys for your support, I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. You have decided to support me, have continued to support me for such a long time. Hope you continue to enjoy my content and continue to support me going forward. Thank you very much. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Also, check out the link in the description to my Wattpad, where I post my stories, because in addition to doing all these videos on my channel, I'm also a writer. And if you enjoy my stories or simply enjoy my videos, you can head over to my Patreon or to my Ko-fi account, where you can pledge your support and help get the channel going, help support me so I can keep writing the stories you enjoy. But if you don't want to do any of that, that's completely fine. You can still help me out in other ways, like liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and especially sharing this video with somebody who you think might enjoy it. And I think it's pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!